Hi, I'm Anna from Plot, and today I'm going to share with you some practical tips, ideas and examples of how to create a great online presence for your clients and prospective clients. Marketing has been shifting more and more digital from traditional media for more than a decade now. I would argue that we're probably 5 years further on than we would have been in terms of how we interact and how we market to clients since COVID. And since COVID, the need for advice has rocketed amongst younger people, with a recent report showing that 74% of next gen had or wanted to see an advisor. And if they need a plan, you do as well, to engage and attract them. Your website and online presence, i.e. your digital brand, has never been more important. First contact between you and potential clients happens online now largely. Even if a client is referred to you, it's a safe bet the first thing they'll do is Google you, and you'll have about 3 seconds to engage them before they move on. Potential clients are overwhelmed with options and have a zero tolerance for websites that are poorly laid out, slow and confusing. So whether you're starting from scratch or looking to make some quick wins, here's our top tips. As tempting as this is, you certainly wouldn't do this if a client came to you with a request for a DB transfer. You get them to take a step back and encourage them to look at what they wanted to achieve. Maybe you'd do some cash flow planning. You'd need to understand their story before you could advise them. This is a very similar process when you start planning your website, and it's what we encourage all clients to do, even if they find it hard. Understanding your story, your client's story, and what you stand for and what you want to achieve is key before you consider your website. It's all about investing time now and getting the foundations right to avoid some costly, time-consuming mistakes. I talked about finding your brand purpose, your why, the reason you exist beyond the need to make money in the last series of Advisor Tech. And even if you've done this before, our top tip post-pandemic is to review this in light of how things have changed for yourselves and your clients. Getting your story and tone right is tough. In finance and indeed marketing, we're all very guilty of using jargon and often making things more complicated than they need to be. Key here is to review your website content. Ask yourself, can it be simplified into easily digestible bite-sized chunks? It needs to be intriguing, it needs to be benefit-ridden. Your communications should be all about your clients, how you help them, and what value your services can bring to their lives. Our top tip here is to use a professional copywriter for your main pages. But for other content like the news and content areas, we highly recommend a free tool called the Hemingway editor. It won't write the content for you, but it will help you make your copy bold and clear. The app is great as it highlights long, lengthy, complex sentences and common errors. Along with good words, great imagery is a biggie for breathing life into your website and indeed your other marketing. Having a properly curated suite of images, like the ones I'm flashing up, should definitely be priority. Whether that be photography or illustrations, images should match your tone and speak directly to your audience in order to engage and inspire them. A study found that 94% of consumers will leave a website with poor graphic design and photography. We'd always recommend using an agency for your hero brand images, as these are so important to creating a cohesive professional brand. But our top tip for news articles and blogs, the images you guys often create yourselves, is to use a good quality stock library like Shutterstock or Unsplash. And don't grab images off Google, as tempting as this may seem, as they do belong to other companies and they will find you. To prevent a stock image overload, we highly recommend having a great set of team photography and bios to help balance the brand imagery and give that real feel that shows off your company culture. After all, your product is your people, and people buy from people. Plus, team pages are often the most viewed on any professional services website. For this reason, we do strongly recommend using a professional photographer, as they will help you pick a style of photos that really captures your business, the team behind it and your brand personality. Whether the shots are inside or outside, colour or black and white, serious or smiling, you want clients to get to know the whole team rather than just an individual advisor. You want to make your clients feel part of your family. This could even include pictures of your office pets. Top tip, if you really hate having your photo taken, as many people do, illustrations are a great option that we've used. Remember, this is your chance to have a bit of fun and show the human side of the service that you deliver. Sticking with the real theme, clients telling their stories about their experience of working with you is gold dust in marketing terms for helping to attract like-minded clients and building trust. Either as written case studies and testimonials, or ideally as videos, these will work wonders for creating confidence and really bringing out the human emotional side of the value and the difference you make in people's lives. Top tip here is get Google reviews. Even if you're using something like Vouched For or Unbiased, Google reviews have a huge impact on your Google local search. Also, 86% of consumers read reviews for local businesses, and 91% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. You can really work wonders on your search engine rankings without having to spend lots of money on an SEO strategy. We've seen a lot more traffic coming to our site since we started asking clients for reviews. Sticking on the search engine theme, remember your website is a living, breathing entity. Simply put, if you update your website often with high quality content, search engines will love you for it and boost your rankings. A couple of top tips here. Create a resource area and news area. It's good to have a mix of content here, and don't forget the importance of putting news on about your firm, any charity or community activities, new team members, etc. to show the human side. Plus, for helping your SEO ranking and choosing industry topics that people are actually searching for, use Google Keyword Planner. Also, if you have WordPress as your CMS on your website, you get a huge thumbs up from me, as this is the most SEO-friendly CMS on the planet, with loads and loads of built-in features you can take advantage of, even if you're not a techie. Talking of technical, it's always good to know how your site is performing, as this has a huge impact on load times and therefore visitors staying on your website. Remember the 3-second rule that I mentioned earlier. Our top tip here is using GT Metrics and Google Lighthouse to analyse your website. You can look at things like accessibility, security vulnerabilities, speeds, desktop and mobile issues, and much more. Also, make sure you have Google Analytics installed so you can see how visitors are using your site. The visitor to your website has the ultimate say. They are the ones in control of the mouse. If they don't like what they see or can't find what they need quickly, they'll move on. So to summarise, here are my key take-home messages. Get your brand right first. Create a great team page. Use client stories. Get Google reviews. And finally, review your site's performance. If you'd like a copy of the slides I've created with links to all the various tools I've mentioned and our brand workbook, leave your details with the AdviserTech team. Thanks for listening, and until next time.